After the show or after the show or during?
After the show, please.
So we keep quiet?
Each joke?
My God, let him do it.
I mean, there's not too many jokes. I mean, there's only like 6 or but I just want to know, like, I want to see which works, what doesn't work, right? And if
It's gonna work, bro.
Someone could time me, please.
Why? If you're not in Russia, you can take your time. Don't worry.
I'm not gonna be here all night.
I paid. I'm not.
Presentation for like a big job.
No, I can time you. I'll time you.
Remember, this is a volunteer
No, I know.
opportunity.
If you pay me,
I paid, man.
you're not getting your money back. All right. I got like 5 drinks here. All right. So, ready? Everybody's ready?
Yeah. Woohoo!
All right.
Yay!
All right. Thank you for coming. My name's Kash. I'm from Pakistan. Made in Pakistan, but refined in the U.S. But anyway, so this is my second time, so I'm a little less nervous than the first time. Sarah saw me the first time. I don't know who else was there, but I was a lot nervous then. So I have random jokes. I'm just gonna start with it. So I came to the U.S. I started in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I finished high school in Pakistan, and then I came for bachelor's, pre-engineering, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I could have gone anywhere, but that was where I started. But anyway, so after a few years, I was like, we need to work out, so I joined a YMCA. So this is a local YMCA in downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee's a small place, by the way. I don't know who's been there or not. But anyway, so the weird thing about this YMCA was that the workout and everything was fine, but the jacuzzi, the hot tub, was in the guy's locker room. Okay? Which I was like, that's just weird. So it took me a little while, guys walking around with their junk, and my junk was a lot smaller than the average junk. So I was like, gotta keep the swimsuit on. But after a while, I was like, maybe I'm not that, maybe I can handle this. So anyway, so I started getting used to going, all out, whatever.
Commando
style, that's right, thank you. So then I moved, I don't know what happened, my job changed, so I moved to a different part of town, and I joined Valley Toll Fitness. I know some of you remember that name, Valley Toll Fitness? So anyway, so I went to Valley Toll Fitness now, and so Valley Toll Fitness, the jacuzzi, it's always this hot swim stuff, but the jacuzzi was part of the swim pool, which is normal, right? So, but of course, remember, I'm still in my YMCA mode, right? So I go I go swimming, right? I had clothes on, which was, and then I go back to the locker room, guys' locker room. I take a shower, right? And then I was like, okay, I need to sit in the hot sauna. So I go in the hot sauna. For whatever reason, didn't have the towel, so I just, plopped myself on those nice warm wooden benches, all commando style, and then everybody quickly got up and left. And this is, I'm not white, but come on, people. So lo and behold, it didn't even occur to me, but then next week I was there and there was this big ass sign. Please wear appropriate clothes or swimsuit. And then there was the big picture of me so I was like, I wonder, oh yeah, that's me, I think. But anyway, so life goes on, but a lot of you are from somewhere else, but when you go to a new country or whatever, I mean, the culture, the language, even though I learned English from the get-go with Urdu, but the accent, everything is different. So I mean, I think some of the things you just struggle with in a new place. So one of the words that was struggling for me is the word ass. Okay, so initially I was like, okay, ass means butt, right? But that's not necessarily true. I mean, you can use ass with other words to make it better. Like, hey man, that's a nice, cool ass shirt. Yes, it is. That's a cool ass car. Okay. So, and yeah, I mean, there's so much other things you can do. I had no idea. So that, things like that. Like, for example, and sometimes when you add the word ass, it actually switches the meaning. So when you say, man, that food was bad, that means it's bad. But when you say, that food was badass, that means it's really good. So, very confusing. And then the other thing you can do with the word ass is you can actually divide it. So you can say half-ass, which doesn't mean your butt has gotten smaller or, it just means it's lousy. Like, hey man, that, like I tell my kids, my teenager son, like, that project you did half-ass. Or sometimes you can also say, hey, move your ass, which actually means you move your ass and your whole self in your car. because you're sitting at a red light or green light, especially in Dallas. Like, move your ass. So anyway, things like that, those things take time. Anyway, so I graduated with engineering, which is shocking because I actually started in Milwaukee, then I went to Madison, so I graduated from Madison. So Wisconsin Badgers. I don't know if you guys watch football, but and then moved on. I met my ex-wife Diane. I had a couple of kids. Life is good. Some of you I know have kids, so you'll understand this. But when the kids are younger, you have to be very careful, right? Like you have to watch your language. I mean, you can't drop F-bombs. You can't use the wrong word. So Diane and I, we came up with these basically lingo, right? So that we can communicate without teaching the kids bad words. So things like, honey, I really need a Hummer. Okay. And then, did you choke the chicken again? I thought you did that last night. Things like that. And of course, there's Virginia for the strange-looking female anatomical part, right? So then one day I go to work, I come home, I'm watching TV just like this, chilling out, and then Sophia, my 2-year-old, comes in, and she's like, Mommy, my Virginia is hurting. I'm like, what? So be careful, if you have kids, they know what's going on. They're not that stupid. Sarah was like, that's as bad as it gets. Maybe there may be one more bad, but I don't know.
Milwaukee really refined you, huh?
That was
That's why I go beyond English, multilingual, Latina, Spanish.
Alright, so let's move on. So again, things didn't work out with Diane, so then of course I go through the single phase, and then of course I meet online dating, right? How exciting. I love online dating, right? It's so exciting. All the time, all the wings, dings, whatever you do, nothing to show for, right? I got so tired of it, I do offline dating. But anyway, so yeah, online dating, I won't bore you with some gory ones, but so I'll keep it PG-13. So I'm on Match.com this a few years ago, and it's just, like I said, it's just such a waste of time. But anyway, and my ex-wife, by the way, was Korean, so I started talking to this girl. Chinese, I always end up with Asians, I don't know why, but it's one of those cursed things. But anyway, so we're just chatting, and it's not going smooth, It's kind of like, it's very half-assed, by the way. So
I learned something new. Good, thanks, you told me you're an Asian.
So then I'm like, okay, I don't want to go to lunch or dinner with this girl, but I can do maybe drinks, right? So I text her, I'm like, hey, this is by Shops Legacy area, so I'm like, hey, let's meet for drinks. And she goes, me don't like alcohol. I'm like, all right, Chinese.
Really?
Why not? I mean, those were the I can show you the text, but anyway. So then I go, okay, all right, that's good actually because I can save some money. And then Starbucks, right? Let's go for coffee. I'm like, at this point, it's just not going, all right? So she's like, me don't like coffee. Who's this? Who's this girl?
Me like Kash.
Yeah, exactly. So I should have just killed it at that point, right? But I don't learn from my mistakes. I'm really hard-headed, unfortunately. So I'm like, how bad can it get, right? So at that point, I think she sensed that this was not going well. So she's like, hey, what about Chick-fil-A? You think I'm making this up? This actually really happened in real life. I'm like, Chick-fil-A, right? So yeah, she's like, yeah, their milkshakes are so good. I'm like, yeah, I bet they are. I bet they are. They really are.
How old is this girl?
I like them young. I don't know. Anyways,
I got it.
21.
all right, so then I show up at the. I'm very timely, by the way. So I show up on time, right? And I mean, it was odd. I mean, I was dressed up a lot better looking than this, and I'm sitting there, and then she texts me. She's like not there, right? So I'm like, she's gonna stand me up at Chick-fil-A. Right? How low can it be? Like this is, when this things get worse and they eventually turn back. I'm like, it has to turn, right? So then she texts me. She's like, I'm here. I'm like, honey, I don't see you. And, it's a small place. I can see everyone there. It's Chick-fil-A, right? She's like, I'm outside. So apparently, I think she wanted me to come outside and we're gonna walk in together or something. But anyway, that did not go well too far after that. I think we actually split our bill, but whatever. So then, you know, I get over that 2-3 weeks. I'm like reset. I'm like, all right, let's try this again, right?
So that date was half-assed.
That was very half-assed. That was very. The shakes were good though. I do have to say that. All right, so then I started talking to a girl from Egypt. Okay, East Africa. All right, or whatever it is. I
A big change from there to
Yes.
here.
I traveled.
But you're
Are you
coming
to Africa?
I traveled. I'm well traveled.
Yeah, yeah.
So we meet and we start talking. This was going a lot better, by the way.